All right. Today we got a little something special. We got the top 10 figures of 2025, right? Big thanks to Matches Peaches for creating and letting me use his tier maker. I'll put a link for this down in the description. But yeah, we've got a ton of figures. We got all the Crane figures, all the Master Lease. Pretty much any figure Dragon Ball is on here, including the little sign from Assembly, which is kind of funny. But yeah, a lot of these I don't have. I don't have any reviews for these either. I would check out Matches Peaches for reviews on all of these. But yeah, I'm gonna give my opinion on the ones I own and ones I'd like to own down the line, and give what I think are the best top 10 figures of the year. And kind of starting with that, this 10th slot really felt the hardest for me. It was between a couple things. It was between, let me find it. Where is it? We got the Grandista Majin Vegeta. It was between the Dokkan pair, and I had something else here that I was considering. Was it this guy? I don't remember, but it really came down. There was like three. I'm counting these two as a pair. It came down to three figures, and it came down to really these two or these three. And I kind of decided on this 10th slot being the Dokkan 10th anniversary pair. It just felt like a very special pair of figures to kind of start the year, because the Dokkan anniversary happened in January, and we got the announcement for these back in December. So it was just really special, and if you guys have seen these in person, it's so unique with Vegito having his sword. I don't know why they didn't give this guy an effect, but it's honestly just such a beautiful pair of figures that I think they're so worth grabbing and definitely deserve a spot on this list, right? For my 9th slot, I've got the Figuart Zero, Bulma, and Goku. This is one I do own. I have them in front of me right now. One thing that I really like that they're doing with Figuart Zero figures recently is the background effect. Like, and Bulma. I really like this background kind of effect, especially now that they're doing the manga illustrations for it. There, it's right there. It's just so awesome to have manga dimension or manga illustration figures come to life. Like, these are so cool, man. And for Figuart Zero, this guy is like especially bigger than some of the other ones. I started collecting a lot of the Figuart Zeros this year, actually, and these are definitely the bigger pair. On kind of the downside that they cost more. If you can ever find these on sale, I think they're worth grabbing, but for a base price, I think it was like $150, $160. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you can definitely get these on sale, I would. But they definitely deserve to be up here. Next, we've got our actual 40th anniversary, our first 40th anniversary figure, the Part 2 Goku. I'm a huge fan of these, actually. Anniversary Ichiban Goku. These guys are so special and cool, man. There's been so many like photos on Twitter going around of this guy with, you replace him and you get different figures in the manga panels. It is just so cool, man. And between like the small little details on him, like the sweat coming off him, I love the facial expression. There's the downside that his size is kind of booty butt cheeks, but it's nothing to like cry over, to be honest. Like, I'm really big on these guys. Like, I wouldn't display them next to other Master Release figures. Like, I would think I would do something like this, where I have them on a shelf beside posters like that. But they look really good, man. And I don't know, it's special, it's unique. You can kind of see through this catalog that 2025 has been like a lot more of the effect figures and what I like to call like accent figures. Like, you don't add them to the shelf to be the centerpiece, but they really complement things, so you can kind of disregard their size. And they fall into this weird category of not being huge and not being accent figures because they have that, like, the effects behind them. But I still think that they're super worth grabbing and picking up. Like, they're super nice, and I don't think that he's better than some of the other figures I have, but it's worth a pickup, I think, down the line for sure. Next up, I've got what I would consider one of the most underrated figures of the year, Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta. Okay, I know there's definitely people right now thinking, yo, why is this Vegeta even on this list? Some might argue he's one of the worst, but like, I think he's great. Dude, what set? What set it came from? I forgot. But this dude, like, he's getting hate because of the really scrawny legs, but if you see him besides the Goku, or you get him in person, he looks amazing. I'm not gonna deny, like, this is what John did. When you give him the bulkier legs, you fix up his face, he does look better, by all means. And that's why I don't have him higher on this list. But we're not gonna deny that this dude isn't freaking amazing. Like, I think definitely, like, yeah, he could have been better. And John's representation of him is exactly what I think should have happened. But he still looks good. He still has charm. He isn't as bad as I think people make him out to be. So I'm having him on my 7. I think I contemplate putting him a little bit higher. But like I was saying, this is the year of accent figures. And what better pair of them than the Part 1 40th anniversary, if I can find them. Yeah. We've got Bye Bye Goku, and we got Kid Goku on the manga. This looks amazing. Oh, Part 1 coup. These guys look great. These guys are definitely accent figures. They don't take up a ton of space. They have presence. They demand your sight, and they complement any shelf that you put them on. They look gorgeous. Their price is outrageous. The whole 40th Part 1 anniversary prices are some of the stupidest prices I've ever seen. I get why they are the way they are, but oh my god. Like, for the size of him, the quantity of him, and the popularity, it's just such a shame to see something like this being sold for the price that it's at. It's like $100 last I checked. Like, but dude, he's so gorgeous, especially displaying him next to the mangas like that. He can be on his own and give presents, or be without. And it's the same thing for this Goku, the Goodbye. I personally like the Kid Goku a little more than this one, but they're easily interchangeable at this slot for me. And this is kind of where on the tier list I think we begin to separate, right? Like, these, I feel like any order of these could be like, yeah, we could argue Vegito and Gogeta at 5. Like, I could easily see that. I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't be like, all right, that's just a bad opinion. But I think once we start getting to the 1 through 4 slot, these figures are definitely highlights of the year. And I think to a lot of people's surprise, Snap is making it up here. This Goku and Chi-Chi, let's see, Dragon Ball Snap 2. Oh my gosh. Dude, these guys are gorgeous. If you haven't seen this review from Matches Peaches, definitely, yeah, go watch. Go watch John and Matt talk about this. Like, these figures are highlights of the year for me. I've been wanting a Goku Chi-Chi figure forever. And us finally getting them, they blew it out of the water. Between the metallic paint, the tilt, the sculpt, the hair blowing in the wind, like, everything about these is so good. And they fit so well on shelves. And this is something me and Matches Peaches were talking about. Recently, especially this year, Dragon Ball Saga has gotten a lot of these smaller figures that have more detail and effects, and they're not really the Masterpiece Museum stoic kind of, like the beginning of the year we got the EX set right here with the Bulma, Yamcha, Oolong Par, Chi-Chi, Roshi, and Goku Krillin. Like, these guys look great and their size is bigger, but we've got Figuarts here. We've got the 40th anniversary part 1. We have Snap 2 with Goku Chi-Chi. We've got Kid Goku here. We've got Roshi. Like, these figures are much smaller in size, but they have a lot of effects and details, and it just feels like, in terms of Dragon Ball Saga figures, or OG Dragon Ball, we're leaning towards getting the smaller figures produced, which is really putting me off from collecting the bigger Dragon Ball Saga. I still lean towards Masterpiece for most cases, but yeah. Speaking of smaller figures, we've got the top 3. We got another figure I've got right in front of me, and it is the McCoy, Goku and Gohan. Alright, this is a figure that I saw, and at first glance I was like, oh my god, this is a guy that I need. Like, I love this. I've got the Uniqlo shirt of this illustration, and it is done so much justice. This guy can be displayed at literally any angle, and it's good. Getting him in person too, his heft was insane. Like, this guy blew me out the water. I plan on making this figure my first ever review, because he is just that good. And the weight, the scale could be better. The weight's perfect. Fucking so heavy. I don't know why, but so heavy. Scale on the smaller side. I would say that the Goku from this lines up with the Figuart Zero Bulma Goku. He's about that big. Which is a little sad, but I don't mind. Like, this isn't meant to be the highlight of a shelf. It's an accent that makes a shelf glow. It demands presence, and it pops. It makes shelves better. Right? Easily a top 3. Next, and this is gonna be a surprise to a lot of people, but Snap 2 strikes again. Oh my god. It's another figure. Whoa, Snap 2 Dragon Ball. Oh my god. This guy is insane. The shading, the presence, the scale. Now, if you're someone like a lot of us that lean towards Masterpiece, he scales perfectly. He gives pop to the shelf, and he's freaking unique, man. And not to mention, he is perfect with the Jump magazine. When you see the posters of these paired with the figures, it is such a special thing. Like, I've contemplated, if I had more shelf space, what I would do is take the poster and pair it with the figure and call it a day. Like, it is gorgeous. He absolutely blew me out the water. Snap 2, when it got announced, was nothing on my radar. And then we had the promo photos, and it's like, dang, these are freaking really nice and high quality. and then we saw the in person, and it's like, wow, these are figures worth owning for sure, right? But I think, to no one's surprise, #1 figure of 2025, in my opinion, it's Black and White Saba. No, absolutely not. It's Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. This dude is he's amazing. He's exactly what we couldn't have asked for a better. We couldn't have asked for a better Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku figure. His scale, amazing. Texturing on the pants, amazing. This is one I own. The hair, oh my god. And especially when you end up pairing him with this Vegeta, it creates one of the coolest combination sets that we have. Funny enough, I think like another one of those combination sets that are really good are the GT Super Saiyan 4 duo. But yeah, like these two as a pair are like really the highlights of the year. Nothing topped pairing these two together for me the whole year. Getting my hands on this guy, the McCoy Goku, was really nice, but yeah, 2025 really felt like the year of accent and highlight figures for sure. Between starting off the year with getting these guys and a lot of Dragon Ball Saga stuff, which I think is nice. Ton of cranes. Cranes were amazing this year. Like, if we had a honorable mention tab here, we would have the Majin Vegeta here. We would have Matchmakers for Saiyan 2 and Majin Vegeta. We would have the whole trio of the manga illustration of these Boos and Saiyans from Majin Buu Saga. Like, there are so many good Crane figures we had this year. Grandista coming back. Yeah, like such a great year for figures. And I know I didn't include some favorites here. Goma, Super Saiyan 4 Kid Goku, Namek Vegeta, who I don't like. Diorama Frieza. Like, these are all amazing figures, but this felt like the year of cranes and highlight accent figures, and this is my list to give them some love. So I'll leave a link to the tier maker down below. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know how you would arrange things. I'm super curious what your guys' favorite figures of the year are, and really looking forward to 2026. Already, 2026 is blowing 2025 out the water with just what we've got